Warning, this is a rant about unemployment and a job ghosting me. If you do not want to listen to the rant, go ahead and slide or swipe left or whatever you need to do to get off of the reel or out of the video. I'm going to start from the beginning and explain everything vaguely so that I do not uh, get into any legal situations with the company. So my initials is DASL. I go by DASL. Um, I am a writer right now. I am an author. I've published some books. I'm going to be using the images of my published novels as the background image for this story time, but I am talking about unemployment and job loss. I know that we're currently in a recession, more like a depression if you ask me, but I'm not into politics or economics, so I don't know enough to say yay or nay. I just know my personal income, my personal family policies when it comes to us surviving in the world. So I have a health condition. I do not want to disclose the name of it, but it is related to mental health. It is not autism, so I'm not on any spectrums or anything like that, and no disrespect to anyone who is on the spectrum and or who is receiving treatment or living with autism. Um, Side note, uh, as a writer, sharing my story verbally helps with the therapy that I'm receiving so that I can be um, less of an introverted person and keeping things to myself. So that's the end of that side note. So, what happened was 2 weeks ago, Monday, I was applying to jobs on a particular website that starts with an I. Anyway, this job board website, I was applying nonstop to anything related to information technology, anything related to insurance, anything related to, I even applied to certain retail stores. I applied to fast food and food restaurant places, anything to get my foot in the door because I had burned bridges at previous jobs this year only because of my brand new health condition that I'm not sharing. Anyway, I go check my email. I receive a response back from the particular website, job board site. I go to the message board site and someone wants to interview with me same day. First, we have a phone interview. We talk. I will call them ABC Company. ABC Company was happy with me. The owner wanted to meet with me the same day. Unfortunately, I did not have transportation, but I didn't let her know that. Instead, I asked if I can meet on a different day. She asked if Monday worked for me, and I went ahead and said, absolutely, I will be there Monday. So over the weekend, I prepared for my interview. I prepared with my documentation of my resume and everything, and I was ready to go to that interview on Monday. Once I got to the location of ABC Corporation, um, it's a small location. It's located outside of my neighborhood, maybe 15 minutes away. And the owner of the company was the interviewer, and she had her office manager as well. First things first, they asked me about my background in customer service because the position was an administrative assistant role. It was not an IT technical role. However, They needed people with an IT background so that they could understand how to be an administrative assistant at the facility. So I went through my background on how I've been working in insurance since the age of 15, and that I got my IT certification by the age of um, in my mid 20s, and I had an IT job in cybersecurity for 3 years. So all of that information, her eyes lit up, her office manager lit up. They asked me questions about my personal life. What do I like to do after work? I said I love to write. I like to write sci fi. I like to read sci fi. That's my thing. They said that's good. I said I'm a nerd, so I'm into that kind of stuff, and we all laughed about that. They asked about my religious beliefs, if I would be uncomfortable with them being a faith based company. I said, not at all. I am a Christian. I believe in a higher power. I believe in a Lord or a God. And they were happy with my answer. They also believed in Jesus. So that was not a big deal for me. They didn't get into politics. Not that I have a political side, left or right, up or down. We did discuss family life. I let them know how many nephews I have, how many siblings I have. I let them know about my spouse, who works a few cities away, and they were really impressed by the fact that I would be able to come into work and he would be able to hop on the highway and get to his job in a timely manner since I live so close. So that went on. So after the interview process, they showed me around the building. They showed me the desk where I would be sitting. They said, "This is your desk. This is where you will be sitting. This is where you will be working." They showed me the break room. They showed me the IT technicians that work there. And then I was taken back to the office to discuss salary with just the owner. I let the negotiations stay within the owner's range because I was looking for a job. I didn't care about the funds or the salary of that position. I just wanted a job. So, and even if she gave me the lower end of the salary range, which was between $16 and $18, I would be satisfied because they did not provide any benefits, and I wouldn't get any vacation time until I was there at least 6 months. So it wouldn't have mattered um, what their package deal is because they didn't have a package. So all the finances would just go to taxes and the rest will come to me as a paycheck, and I was fine with that. So we discussed salary. Then she asked, how soon can I start? I said, well, I have another appointment on Friday of that week, and I had an appointment on Tuesday and Wednesday. I I said, is the following Monday okay to start? She said, no, no, no. How about Thursday of this week? And I said, well, Thursday will work if you're okay with me going to my appointment on Friday, and then I will get a ride back to the office after my appointment. She said, not a problem. So she told me that she was going to need some references. So I said I can provide those. I provided her with references once I got home. I had 5 references, one personal, 4 business related from previous jobs, including my previous boss from another insurance company. He did not give a verbal reference, Instead, he had his HR company give an employment verification. So I don't know if that rubbed her the wrong way or if that annoyed her that she could not speak with my prior boss, but you can't make people speak if they don't want to speak. However, he did give me permission to make him a reference, so I'll leave that where that is. Um, Moving on, she contacted a former colleague of mine. They gave a fantastic email response to her about me. And then I gave her the contact number of my other references, and they heard nothing from her. Fast forward to Wednesday, I received a message from the job board website from her. I gave her a call immediately when I saw it. She said she didn't send me a message, so it was a glitch on the website. However, she said she was still reviewing my references and that she would get back with me on that Friday with her final decision. I said, okay. What I forgot to mention is that I shared with her because I felt it was important to be transparent, and my mother told me never share any information about yourself with future employers. However, because my condition is so serious and it comes out of the blue, I wanted to be forthright. So I shared what my condition was, that while it's random, it's minor, and it won't affect anyone because there's only 4 people working in the building, and the customers are lifelong customers of the ABC Corporation. And she was okay with my explanation of the condition. Now, she may have decided after I explained what my condition was to not go forward with hiring me. That's fine. I'm actually okay with that because it would be better if you don't hire me and my condition flares up rather than you hire me, my condition flares up, and then you look at me as a liar because I omitted the fact that I have a situation that can sometimes flare up. Anyway, moving on back to the interview, the referrals or process. Um, there, she contacted none of my references verbally, except for the one via email. I contacted all my references to let them know what phone number she would be calling from because it was a local number, and they were ready for her. They even gave their schedule for when is the best time for her to contact. They heard nothing from her on Friday when the day finally came because Thursday I did not end up starting with the company because she never contacted me or let me know that what my start date was. On Friday, I heard nothing from her, no emails, no phone calls, and I double checked my job board website to make sure I didn't miss any messages from her and any personal emails since she had my personal email address, obviously, from the resume. I waited over the weekend and then I waited on Monday of the following week and let my references know that more than likely I didn't get the job because I haven't heard back from this employer. It sounds like she may have ghosted me. My references told me to just wait maybe a few more days just to see if maybe she was just busy. I waited an entire week, and just yesterday, so this would be a week and 3 days, I've heard nothing back. Excuse me, 2 weeks and 3 days, I've heard nothing back. So I sent her a message through the job board website and let her know that I am no longer interested in the position and to have a wonderful retirement whenever her retirement date comes up. And I went ahead and burned that bridge. I also blocked her on any form of any methods of contacting me through the job board website as well as through my smartphone. I do not work with people who do not know courteousness, who do not know professionalism, who do not know how to behave when it comes to things such as work and recruitment and dealing with people whose lives are in the balance. My wedding anniversary had just passed. My goal was to get this job so that I can get my husband a nice gift. Just his gift was going to be um, a repaired laptop because his broke down and he has sentimental connection to his laptop. So I was going to have it repaired and buy the components and repair it myself. However, because the job did not come through, I didn't have the funds in order to get him the components needed to repair his laptop. That's a side story that's not important. The point is that I understand the unemployment rate is very um, aggressive. I understand that I have competition from all over the world, whether remote work or work in office. And this was an in office position, by the way, at ABC Company. And no matter how many credentials I have, how many certificates, how many years of work experience, I'm only 30 years old. So it's not like I'm going to be retiring anytime soon. Not that I will be able to retire. Hopefully, my health conditions will shorten my lifespan enough so that I won't have to be at retirement age. Like what happened with my parents. Both of them passed away in their mid 50s. Anyway, the point is, I just wanted to share my story to first and foremost get it off my chest and to also be a warning to other individuals looking for work that you may not find work. You may find out that you'll get an interview and that you'll get ghosted by the interviewer like a petty Tinder date. And also, it's okay to cry and it's okay to be sad, but don't let things like this keep you down and don't let things like this keep you or make you spiral downward. A job is supposed to pay your bills so that you can live your life, and your life is more important than any job. In conclusion, I don't know what the future will bring me. I am a Christian, as I mentioned earlier, so I do pray regularly and I do study the Bible regularly, and I have to rely on my higher power. So, not my power, but capital H, higher, capital P, power. So, God. I have to rely on Him. If you don't believe in God, rely on your own abilities. But as for me, I will be relying on Him because human beings have a way of failing you, and I am disgusted but not surprised, hurt but not broken, I might have been kicked, but I'm still standing. So, anyway, that's it for my rant. Thank you for listening if you stayed all the way through. Um, this is not my normal type of sharing, but I just wanted to let you know that this happened to me, and so it triggers issues with my artwork whenever I have things like this happen. So I lean more into my art, more into creating videos, and so on. Anyway, that's it. Talk to you later. Be safe. Drink more water. And if you don't have a job, I hope you find one, and I hope you find peace in the universe. Thank you.